Hey, whoops. Sorry about that. It's Monday, April the 5th. I believe it's April the 5th. I wouldn't know because I'm on vacation and I'm just losing track of the days. Awesome week last week. Got away with our staff, Center Street Youth Ministry staff. We headed up to Gull Lake Center. If you live in central Alberta and you're looking for a place to get away, to take your youth ministry, to take your families, to take your own personal family, to get away for 3 days, get away for a little spiritual retreat, let me strongly encourage you to check out Gull Lake Center, Gull Lake Retreat Center. Awesome place to get away. And we did, and we sort of formulated a roadmap for our next season of programming and ministry, and looking really, really forward to it. So there's a little bit of an update. Hope to talk a bit more about that roadmap in the upcoming weeks. So where do we go from here? Well, I know in the past we've been looking at values, we've been looking at Think Orange, Reggie Joiner's book, and I want to continue in that vein today real quickly. We talked about fighting for the heart, and today I want to look at making it personal and encouraging parents to do so, to make it incredibly personal. And this is why, because if you look in Deuteronomy 6, you'll see that as Moses was coming before the people, and remember he shared that whole thing talking about we were all about rules, but now God wants relationship, and we got to make that choice, don't we? We got to make the choice. We got to make the easy choice of just slamming down the rules, or we have to make that difficult choice of fighting for the heart of our kids and saying, I want relationship. Well, in those verses in Deuteronomy, he says this, these commands I give to you. He's personalizing it. God is saying, I'm giving you these commands, and you need to personalize your faith. In saying that, I would say the central focus of the core of who we are as parents, we have to come to terms with what is the foundation of our identity. That is so incredibly important. I mean, working with students, I'm always looking at what their identity is and their self-worth, and they are very, very conflicted and very, very confused. The more I sit down with parents now, I'm seeing the exact same thing, because if we don't have God as the core of our identity and realize that the most important thing about who I am as a person is the fact that I'm a son of God, I'm a child of God, then that, and out of that overflows everything else. But as I've been sitting down with a lot of people my own age who are parents and talking to them about their identity and who they are, it is increasingly becoming aware that people are defining themselves by what they do and not who they really are. It's who and what I do versus who God has created me to be. And that is a really, really scary thing. It's very, very scary when I hear that. As parents, what we got to do is this. We have to get to the point where if we are going to examine what we want our kids to become, then the first step in that is to examine who we are becoming as parents. You see, that's important for us to do, because what happens is if we don't examine who we are becoming, we really don't have any right to be having these certain expectations of who our kids are. We may want our kids to look this way and that way and this way, and often what happens is we begin to outsource our kids and allow coaches and teachers and tutors, and in my profession, obviously, youth ministry, determine who my kids are going to be, so I don't have to look at who I am and who I'm defining myself and who I'm truly becoming. That is a major concern, I think, in our culture, and particularly in our church today. You see, my real passion, I want to convince parents these days to make faith personal, yet not private. And that is a hard thing for us to do. You see, attending a 2-hour church service on a Sunday morning, being highly involved in programs at a church does not equal a growing faith. And often, it actually almost equals the opposite. I'll tell you this right now, if I were to sit down with your family today and go through your schedule throughout the week, I could pretty much tell how you are doing spiritually. What I'm seeing these days is that parents, on the most part, and I don't want to make this a blanket statement, but the fact is this, a lot of parents are not personalizing their faith because they're wearing a badge of honor, and that badge of honor's name is busy. And they think in there, they have this distorted perspective and worldview that keeping my child busy in church and keeping my child busy and every other program that's out there somehow is going to make their kids happy. And parents are refusing to personalize their faith. A good friend of mine once said, just because you think you, or just because you eat at McDonald's, it does not make you a cheeseburger. And it sounds like, what do you mean? Well, the whole thing is similar. Just because parents take their kids to church and church programs, does not make you a devoted follower of Christ. And that's something that I want us to consider today. As a parent, and if you're seeing this as a parent, ask yourselves, is your faith truly personal? Have you personalized your faith? Is your identity found in who God says you are versus who the world says you're supposed to be? And that's just something to think about and to pray about. I would be interested to hear your comments, your concerns, your thoughts. And parents, let's begin to personalize our faith. Have a great day. Nice being back on here. And I will either see you tomorrow or on Wednesday. Peace out and be blessed.